But actually I was wrong. It was 40 miles an hour. It carried 2 passengers, 125 miles nonstop, ability to land. Your plane must be able to land without damage. Is that pretty funny? 41. So that's how unsure the people were with flying at the time. How did they land? We crashed. So we will not buy that plane unless it lands without damage. I like that. And so the bottom line was the Wright brothers contributed to the Army aviation by starting it all off. Yes, sir.
In the 1800s, when they gave lately 50 grand, isn't that like, how much would that be nowadays?
About $1 gazillion.
Million, yeah.
$50,000 in 1880 versus now, I have no idea.
Probably like 15 million.
Go look it up on your inflation website and tell us money. That'd be a lot of money. How much did the Wright brothers get? The same year, I think it was $30,000. Did they actually say here? I think the Wright brothers only got 30. But again, it was pretty good considering people making $800 a year back then. It doesn't say. Does it say how much the Wright brothers got? No. Where is Fort Myer, Virginia? Down there at the bottom of page 42. Where is Fort Myer, Virginia? No idea? Who killed the first person in aviation? Who killed him?
The Wright brothers?
The Wright brothers. You better believe it. There was test flights. And old Orville was up there flying, and he screwed up. And he crashed, and as you can see, he actually killed a guy named Thomas Selfridge, first lieutenant, first military aviation casualty. Did kill the first person in aviation, first military aviation. But that's kind of a bummer to have old man Orville, who invented the whole thing, kill you. That's a bad deal. So they killed this. This kind of started a tradition. When you die in aviation or you die in the military, what do they do for you?
They put they name after a medal of honor.
Well, he didn't deserve a medal of honor. He would have been shot. But they named a base after him. There's a Selfridge Air Force Base. Actually, it's not an Air Force base, probably a joint base. But it's in Michigan. Because obviously Thomas Selfridge was from Michigan. But he still trained 2 other pilots for the Army. One of them was Fallois, which actually went to be a major general and chief of the Army Air Corps when they split off the Army Air Corps. And basically it took a long time for the Army to get over losing money through Langley to deciding to buy it. They basically thought the airplanes would be designed for aerial reconnaissance only.
Do they have automatic weapons back in the 1900s, sir?
Never.
I believe so.
Boom! Reload. Boom! Reload. Boom! And what kind of dispenser did they have for bombs in the World War I?
Artillery.
What kind of dispenser did they have? Yes, sir.
They had to throw them by hand.
Your hands. Ready, drop it.
Oh, you missed.
Yeah, you missed by, oh, by the way, 1,000 feet.
They have mortar shells where they drop into that tube and it fires.
Mortars?
Oh.
Not on a plane. Not on a plane.
Well, I mean, just for infantry, just on plane.
No, I don't know. We were just boom, boom, boom. That's how you shoot out of a plane. What we're talking about here is World War I. You can realize what other kind of aviation advances do we have before airplanes, guys? We talked about it yesterday.
Balloons.
Balloons, and what did they do? Did we go drop bombs from balloons?
No, sir.
Hey, let me drop a bomb! Oh, my buddy who's holding the guideline, right? No, no. The balloons were purely reconnaissance, looking over the hill at San Juan Hill. So they thought that it made sense. They thought the airplanes do the same thing, right? Okay, so let me get to lesson 2 here on the chapter 2, developing aircraft. We're talking about key individuals that led to aviation after the Wright brothers. here's a good question. What similarities do we see between bicycles and airplanes? Very good question. Yes, sir.
Pedals for the rudder and then the pedals for the bike, aren't they kind of similar?
That makes a lot of sense. Yes. What else? What connected the engine of the Wright Flyer to the propellers?
Chain.
A bicycle chain. It was big, it was long,
It was still bicycle.
but it worked. Okay? Had gears. And I'm telling you, you think about 1900s, just to even be able to have something that has a gear that interlocks, that's high tech. That's pretty cool. Okay? So, what are the similarities? What else? What do you build early airplanes out of?
Bicycle materials?
What?
Metal.
You know, those tubes of metal maybe, right? Support you?
No, you wouldn't use metal. You use either pieces of balsa wood because it's lighter, but at the same time it's
Well, balsa's too flimsy, but yeah, you would, but you have to connect it with cables. Yes, sir?
In the Wright Flyer, they use spruce and canvas.
There you go. That's exactly right. Okay, so in this, there were other people all over the world trying to make aviation history. And they're all pioneers. Glenn Curtiss, look here on the bottom of page 45. Here's a good question. Was Glenn Curtiss a military hero? Was he a military? Was he an army guy? Was he a French guy? Curtiss sounds kind of French, doesn't it? Where did he come from?
America, sir?
A record-setting motorcycle ride in 1907. So he was a daredevil. He liked motorcycles, very similar to the bicycle situation. He had been racing his bike his whole life. And a Curtiss was totally an engine guy. See behind him there, the engines? In fact, see him holding that tube of metal. And he actually did some breakthroughs with the design of planes, Curtiss planes, and engines that were used all the way through World War I.
It's like if you got Aristotle, Socrates, and Galileo all in one place.
There we go on the left. We see Curtiss on the left, Alexander Graham Bell, the guy there in the middle with the white beard. And then over there on the right, who's Thomas Selfridge? You know what? I don't think that's the guy that died, is it? Is that picture in your book? Yeah, it is. What year is that? No, I don't think he's the guy that died there. Some of the advances made were ailerons, being a small flap on the wings, therefore the ailerons got rid of the wing warping that Cadet McGee was talking about. There's a more effective way to move an airplane left or right. It also provided lateral control. Said the ailerons were introduced in America, but it originated in England. So in England they invented the ailerons, and it came from there. First seaplane, Curtiss would win the first contract for seaplanes. Why would you want to have a seaplane?
To take off on
Who would want to do that?
the Navy.
The Navy. Was the Navy even invented in 1900?
Yes.
Yes, the Navy's been around forever. And also they say, hey, the Army's getting some of this stuff. Helicopters, airplanes. Why don't we check it out? Look at those floats. Isn't that pretty funny? By then, that actual picture, you can see the elevators in the back. But you look at the engine right behind the pilot. Would that be loud or what? For a seaplane.
It's okay, you don't need it here anyhow.
You don't hear it anymore. Okay, so Curtiss kept going, getting bigger and bigger. He had a flight school. He was sort of a competitor of the Wright brothers in that way, trying to gain money from the aviation arena. And here was one of his friends, basically. He was experimenting with monoplanes, How far is the English Channel? When we say crossing the English Channel, is that a big deal?
Back then it was.
How far is the English Channel?
13 miles, I think.
13 miles? I think it's 21 miles.
Oh, it's funny.
It's not 100. It's not 50. It's not 5. I think it's 21 miles. Actually, let me actually look that up. I'm pretty sure. I've been across the English Channel a lot, but it depends honestly where you go through from it. The 21 miles in the Straits of Dover. So here's the English Channel, and you can see that it's, it's as wide as 150 miles over here at the bottom part of this is England up here on the top. This is France on the bottom, and this is 21 miles right here across the cliffs of Dover. And actually, on a very clear day, you can stand in Calais and see the white cliffs of Dover. That's pretty famous. So you can certainly understand why in the old days, the kings of France go, man, we should invade that country. It's just right there. You can see it. But of course, there's a lot of tricks, a lot of currents, and not as easy to invade amphibiously as you would think. Okay, we're going to stop the lesson right now. Hold it. I want to go to the website here, see what kind of announcements we have. We talked about our trip next Tuesday, and I think you guys turned your homework in. Why would British troops massacre 1,000 dervishes? Ooh, what's a dervish? Good word. What's a dervish, guys? Don't y'all know that? Let's see what they say. What is a dervish?
Somali.
Surfi Muslim.
Muslim. They killed 1,000 Muslims.
Yep, they killed 1,000 Muslims. They just wiped them out, man.
We have to
Dervishes are actually religious Muslims, Surfi Muslims, very extreme poverty and austerity. So why would the British be wiping out 1,000 dervishes in Somaliland?
To get rid of the poor population.
They had wars, and the British were trying to take over Africa, minor detail, and they just would massacre everybody. And I'm sure my British people would love me to hear them say that, but that's how it is. Okay, we turned in the homework for today. Orienteering meeting is next Wednesday. Community service is this weekend, actually, at the Yavapai College Pool if you need community service. And then all your new ranks are ready to go. I think you all have been told that, right? Make sure you bring in your old ranks to swap them out. We have all your orders there on the board in the classroom. And just show up the logistics and we'll take care of it. Cadet of the month. Who's the cadet of the month from here? Hello? McGee, are you up there? McB. All right, so McB, make sure you go to the cadet of the month board and make us proud, okay?
Who writes these? Gosh.
I think they could probably, you could probably, if you have any complaints on trying to do this, you're welcome to try and have everybody else abuse your mistakes. Carol, is that how you spell your name? Do you have 2 L's?
Yes, sir. I have 2 L's.
Oh yeah, you got 2 R's and 2 L's.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess they messed that up too. All right, military ball. We're having a military ball, big party, on the 8th of February. Do not pray for snow on that day. It would not be good. We want to have a beautiful military ball. It's at the Prescott Adult Center because we're treating you guys like adults. Bring your date or your better half, your friend.
Sir.
Sir.
Do you know how much it would cost to bring a guest?
I don't think it's that much, but I guarantee you Gonzalez would. It's $5 or $10. It's a lot less than the prom. Probably less than the party tonight. But everybody be prepared to go to the military ball. That is the one required thing this quarter. Next quarter, the only required thing is the change of command. All right. Military ball dress code. Older kids know this. The males have full service dress, blues if you have them. If you don't, you wear a coat and tie. Females have a full service dress, which they can certainly wear, or they wear a dress and a gown.
I've never seen a girl wear a full service dress though.
It happens all the time.
I haven't seen it.
It happens. All righty. Cadet Aslan, why don't you dismiss it? Cadet Walensky, why don't you stop the recording, please? A dervish. Oh, I need to put dervish on the
My sister.
test. Isn't that a great word? Dervish person. Nobody's recording it. All right, let's go. Let's dismiss.
Flight, attend, hut! Dismissed.
Go do great things!